How are you all? Welcome to Salu Institute of Learning. I am Sushila Kumari Singh. I did my graduation and B.Ed and MSc in Geography from Patna University. I have 23 years of experience, teaching experience in Railway Senior Secondary School. I am a biology and chemistry mentors and I will be teaching chemistry and biology of 9th and 10th class. Now today I am going to start with the 9th class first lesson of chemistry, that is matter in our surroundings. Okay? Now see what happens when we talk about matter. You will see everything, whatever we see around us, either whether it is a living or non-living or anything, either it is a stone, bench, desk, my this pen, even our body, everything around us is made up of matter. Okay. Now this matter, when we talk about matter, then what is the characteristic of matter? How can you say that it is a matter? So there must be some characteristic for it. So what are those characteristics? So all those things, when we talk about matter, so all those things which occupy space, has mass and which we can feel it. Is it okay? So what is the definition? First of all, we are going to see the definition of matter. Then what is the definition of matter? All those things which occupy space, has mass and we feel. Is it okay? So all those things which occupy space, has mass, that means weight, and which we can feel it. See, whenever you sit anywhere, you occupy some space, you have your own weight, you have your own mass. Same way everything around us has its mass. Okay? If the things which does not have mass, that will not exist in this universe. Without mass, nothing can be existed. Okay? So the existence will not be possible without mass. So all those things which has mass, which occupy space and which we feel, like air. Can you see air? We cannot see air, but we can feel it. During respiration, we take oxygen inside and give out carbon dioxide. Is it clear? So that thing we are feeling, suppose it's very hot, air is not present, then what happens? The place where the air is in less amount, in that case, sorry, in that case what happens? We feel suffocation from inside because we are not getting it. So that is the feeling for air, oxygen. Is it clear? So when we talk about the matter, all those things which occupy space, has mass and which we can feel. So this was the definition of matter. Is it clear? Now see, when we talk about matter, in ancient ancient philosophers, they said that they did not classify anything about the matter. They just said that the matter is made up of Panchtantra. Okay, Panchtantra, what do you mean by Panchtantra? Panchtantra means the 5 elements. So they said, ancient philosophers said that matter is made up of 5 things and they called it Panchtattva. Okay? Now see, Panch Tattva means what are that those elements of which matter is made, that is earth, air, fire, sky and water. Okay. So this Panch Tattva, matter is made up of Panch Tattva. Who said? Ancient philosopher said. Okay. So that's why we say now that Panch Tattva, our body is made up of Panch Tattva, and when we die, it gets mixed with the Panch Tattva. Okay. Now see, after that what happened? That modern scientists, they came and they classified matter into two groups, two parts or two types you can say. What are they? They are on physical property and chemical property. Okay. So modern scientists, they classified matter depending upon their physical property and chemical property or chemical nature. Okay. Now see, physical nature of matter will see. According to this physical nature of matter, when we talk about, then for a long time there was a two groups, or you can call it as a two schools. They had a different thoughts about the matter. Okay, there was a two schools, and both the schools had a different thoughts about the matter. Now one school said, their thought was that the matter to be continuous. Okay. And other one said that no, the matter is made up of the particles. So these two thoughts were there. One said matter is continuous, and other one said that matter is made up of a particle. Okay. Now see, suppose continuous, when we talk about the continuous, the matter is continuous, they said that it is just like a block of wood. How when you see the wood, the block of wood, it is continuous. Suppose you see my pen, it seems to be continuous, but when you see under microscope, powerful microscope, then you will find that there is a small particles which combine together to form this pen. Okay. Now see, now what we have to do? We have to do the activities to prove this or to find out whether this matter is continuous or this matter is made up of the particles. Okay. So we are going to do one activities regarding this matter to be continuous or made up of the particles. Okay. Now see, first of all what we will do, we will take one beaker. In this beaker you add 100 ml of water. Okay. And mark the layer till where this water stands. Now what next we have to do? Add 1 or 2 spoons of sugar or salt. Anything you can take, either sugar or salt. Water is liquid, but sugar and salt is solid. Okay. Suppose you add sugar, 2 teaspoon. That means its mass may be, suppose it is 10 mg. Okay. When you add in this, when you add the sugar in this, then what will happen? The layer which you had marked here, see this layer, when you had marked here, in this sugar plus water is there. Now what will happen to this? The layer will go high, layer will increase or decrease or remain the same. What will happen? Just imagine. So we will see that the layer is layer remains undisturbed. That means the layer is neither rising nor decreasing. Okay? It will not increase. Layer will not go up or down. That will remain the same. But here, you see here only 100 ml of water was there, and here 100 ml of water plus 10 mg of sugar is there in that. But still the level remains the same. What happens? Why? In this case, what happened? Here you will see that what happened, that this water is made up of a small particles where the space is vacant. That means, see, suppose this is a particle of your water. In between you will find some space is there. Okay, intermolecular space remains there. So this water, when we added this water, sugar in this water, this sugar occupies this vacant space between the molecules or the particles of the water. Is it clear? In this case, what happened? The sugar will occupy the space between the particles of water. Okay. So that is the reason the level of this water will not rise. That will remain the same. Okay. Now next activities we'll do, that is the how small these particles are. Now this proves that matter is made up of particles, many particles. Okay. Now next activities we have to perform, that how small these particles are, whether they are big or very small. For this, what we'll do, again you have to take one beaker. In this beaker you will add water. Here water plus small particles of potassium. Let me write this side. See, we have taken water in this beaker. Now we are adding one crystal of potassium permanganate. Okay, one crystal means small crystals or very small crystal of potassium permanganate. See, now you added potassium permanganate to this water. Okay, small crystal of potassium permanganate. Now you will find that slowly what happens, that this color of this water will start changing, because the particles of this potassium permanganate is getting dissolved in this water. Okay, so the color of this will become deep pink. Now what next you have to do, when the complete this crystals dissolve in this, now you have to take another beaker. Okay, now next what we'll do? We'll take another beaker. In that we will take 10 ml of water from here. Is it clear? And we'll put in this beaker. 10 ml of water in this beaker. Now you take a plain water and 90 ml of plain water we will add to it. How much you are adding? 90 ml of plain water. Now how much it will become? In this again you are finding 100 ml. This becomes 100 ml, that means 10 ml of this water and 90 ml of this water. Plain water, okay? It becomes 100 ml. Now see the color. What happens? Even in this beaker you will find the color of water is pink. Okay? But compared to this one, this beaker, the color of this beaker is little bit light. Okay. Again what you have to do? Take another beaker. In that beaker again you take 10 ml of this water and add it here. 10 ml. And again plain water 90 ml. Okay. 10 ml you are taking from this beaker and 90 ml from other beaker. Again it becomes 100 ml. Okay. Now what you will see, the color of this beaker is also pink, but compared to this one, this is lighter. Okay, the color of this becomes light. Again you continue this step. Repeat for 4 or 5 times. Again in the last you will see the color will be there pink, but it will be very light. Okay. So you are taking, see now what does this activities prove? This will prove that you have taken a small crystals of potassium permanganate, but this is making how many beakers? It is making pink. So many beakers. That means that in this potassium permanganate has a large number of very small particles. Okay, so this proves that potassium permanganate has very large number of particles which makes all the beaker pink. Is it clear? So these particles are so small that we cannot see it even by it is difficult to see by the powerful microscope also. Sometimes they are so small particles are there. Is it clear? So now we have proved two things. We did two activities. One shows that the particles are made up, matter is made up of particles, and another one shows that these particles are very small. Okay. Now next comes the characteristics of particles of matter. What is next? Next is the characteristic of particles of matter. Particles of matter. What is the characteristic of particles of matter? The first point is the particles of matter have a space between them. So first characteristic of matter is that the particles space between them. Okay. Now see the first activity we did. In that what we did? We took one beaker. In this beaker we added 100 ml of water and 10 ml of sugar. Okay. Now the level of this water was not increased. Why? Because there was a space between the particles of matter. So this sugar occupied the space between the particles of matter. Okay. So this proves that there must be a space between particles of matter. Okay. Suppose same thing you can do with the color. That is, suppose you take in one beaker you take ink. In one beaker you are taking water and drop 2-3 drops of red ink. You will find that the color of this complete water becomes red. Why? Because the color of that red ink spreads and takes the place vacant inside between the particles of the mad water. Okay. So this proves that the particles have a space between them. That is the reason the level will not increase or decrease, because that is, there is a vacant space between the particles of water. So these particles will occupy that space. Is it clear? Even after increasing the mass, this is mg not ml. After increasing the mass, here it was 100 ml. After adding sugar, it becomes 110. But still the level of water will remain the same. Okay. So this proves that the particles have a space between them. Okay. So this is the first characteristic of particles of matter. Now next one, second is that particles continuously moving. Now see, next one is the particles of matter are continuously moving. How this happens? We are not saying that the particles, suppose the water you see, the water is stagnant, but still you don't feel it that it is moving, but still their particles are moving. This we can prove. We can do activities for this. Okay, because the particles continuously moves. Suppose take a beaker. In this we are taking water, and same experiment will do. That second activities which we had done. That is, the take a small crystal of potassium permanganate and add to it. Okay. And leave it without disturbing it. Don't shake, don't stir it. Just leave it calmly without disturbing. After some time, you will find that without disturbing also, slowly the color of this water has started becoming pink. Why this happens? Because the particles are moving. Okay. So because the particles are moving, so in that case what happens? That they will break the particles and occupy the space between the particles of the water. Okay. Because they are moving, this you must have seen at home, that sometimes what happens? That when we come from school or anywhere out, our mummy is cooking something very nice. Even though you are outside your house, you have not entered your house, but still you can get that smell. How do you get the smell? How do you get that smell? Because the mummy, whatever she is cooking in the kitchen, the smell intermix with the air and this keeps moving, and while moving they come across us and we get that smell. Is it clear? Suppose you open a scent somewhere else and then you get the smell. How does this happen? Why this happens? Because the particle of that smell gets intermixed with the particle of air, and these particles keeps moving, so they come to us. Is it clear? So we get the smell, and this is called diffusion. What is this called? Diffusion, by the process of diffusion. So here what we call diffusion? Diffusion means here intermixing of two different substances is called diffusion. Okay, so this intermixing of two different substances is called diffusion. So this proves that the particles of the matters keep moving whether you see or not. Okay? Is it okay? Hope you are understanding what I am trying to say. So now see what happens. Next we will see that the particles of these matters are continuously moving. Now we can see whether what effect it has of temperature. Suppose we give temperature. The temperature, when we talk about the temperature, suppose for this we can take one example. In this, what we are doing, we will take two beakers, in one hot water and in other one cold water. Okay? Suppose you are taking in one hot water and in another one cold water. Now take a small crystal piece and add to both the beaker, even in this and even in this. Is it clear? When you are adding this and leave it without disturbing it, you don't have to stir it or do anything, just keep it undisturbed, both the beaker, after adding potassium permanganate. Okay? You will see that slowly the color of this, both the beaker starts changing. In that case, what happens? Why the color start? In which one you will find that the color has changed fast? In which one the potassium permanganate dissolves very fast and which one is slow? Here you will see that this beaker in which we had added hot water, in that beaker the color becomes pink very fast, and this one in the cold water the color slowly it is changing. Okay, in this why does this hot water's beaker color change fast? The reason behind it is because hot water, when it is hot, that means the temperature is increased, and when temperature increases, this has a kinetic energy in it. What does it have? It has a kinetic energy. Is it clear? So when this hot water temperature is high, kinetic energy will also increase and they will start moving very fast. When we increase the temperature, kinetic energy will increase and the particles will start moving very fast. That is the reason behind it. When increase in temperature, mixing is very fast. Is it clear? Because why? Because the kinetic energy will also increase and that will mix both the particles very fast. And in this one where the cold water was there, kinetic energy is less, so the particles will move slowly. Is it clear? So simply we can say when the temperature increases, kinetic energy will increase and the particles will stop, the substance will start moving very fast. Is it clear? Hope you understood this. Now the second one we did, particles of matters are continuously moving. We finished this. Now third one is, there is a force of attraction between the particles. Okay. What is the third point? Third one is the particles of matter attracts each other. Okay. Now see, the particles of matter attract each other. That means the particles of which the matter is made, that particles all attracts each other and they come together. Okay. So more the force of attraction is there, their packing is very tight. Is it clear? And less force of attraction, they remain separate. But the force of attraction, there is a force of attraction between the particles. Now let's do this. For this we will take three things: iron rod, next one chalk, and third one will take rubber band. Okay. Now see what happens. Take three things: iron rod, chalk and rubber band. Now what you have to do? Take a hammer and start hammering this. Hammering means hammer, iron rod, chalk and rubber band. What difference you will see in them? There will be some difference. What is the difference in them? Now iron rod, when you are hammering, there will be no change in it, no effect of it. Okay. When chalk you are hammering, that will break. When you hammer chalk, what will happen? That will break. And in rubber band, what will happen when you are hammering? That will press little bit, pressure will be there, again they will become normal. Okay. That means all the three things, they are solid, and you are seeing that the effect of hammering on both all the three is different. Now take a knife, start cutting it. Cut iron rod, can you cut it? No, na? We cannot cut this. Chalk, when you start cutting it, that will start converting into powder. Okay? Rubber band, when you start cutting it, that will break. Okay? Now see, that means what does it show? That force of attraction between the particle rod is very strong. Here the force of attraction between the particles of iron is very strong. So they are completely tightly packed with each other and it is difficult to break them. Is it clear? Here the force of attraction between the particles of the chalk, there is a force of attraction, but it is less compared to this rod. Okay. In this rubber band, also the same thing. When started cutting it, there was no effect of hammering, but when started cutting it, you found that they broke into two pieces. Okay, so in this case what happens? The force of attraction between the particles of the rubber is more than chalk but less than iron rod. Is it clear? So this shows that between the particles they have a different force of attraction in different substances. Is it clear? Now what happens? Suppose you take the example of a diver diving in water. You must have seen the divers who dive in the water. What happens? They cut the water molecules and they enter inside it. Okay? Because the force of attraction between the particles there compared to solid is less. Is it clear? So we can say that the different substances have the different strength of force of attraction between them. That means the strength of force of attraction between the different substances varies. It is not the same in all the substances. The force of attraction different substances different. Is it clear? So there is a, depending upon these activities, there are some questions given in NCERT. Try to do it. And today I will stop my lecture here. Keep reading it. If any doubt, please comment in comment section and let me know so that I can clear your doubt and I will try to solve your problem. Okay. Thank you.